So in today's video, we're going to be looking at NFTs that are popping up in my top volume channel right here. And these are basically NFTs that fall within a certain criteria that I look for when I'm trading. And that criteria is NFTs that were minted within the last 15 days and then sorted by highest volume. So these are the ones that are going to have the most potential to make some big moves. So let's just go ahead and get started and take a look at the first one. So this first one on the list is Azuki, and this is a project we actually covered last week. So just some quick information about it is that it was minted on the 12th and the art reveal was the 20th. So now just looking at the OpenSea, looks like the floor price is already quite high at 4.35 with the distribution to 2-to-1, and that's what you want to look for a healthy project. So the reveal for this one was the 20th, but each bar at Dune Analytics, these charts, they reset at 7 p.m. And this was at on the 20th at 12 p.m. So even though it was the 20th, most of the volume for the reveal happened on this bar right here, which was the 21st. Now, if you look back in my previous video, I said since this day, we're going to see decreasing volume, and that's exactly what happened. And one thing I like to look for when entering back into a position was the decrease, and then the one large volume spike is what we're seeing right here. Now this is the start of a good indication that this project will continue to go up, but what really matters is what happens tomorrow and to see if this increased volume is sustained. And if it is, then this is definitely a project that is going to explode in price. Now, one really important thing that you guys need to pay attention to is that these NFTs are linked to Ethereum. So you're buying and selling all in Ethereum. Now, when the price of Ethereum is going down, what often happens is the price of these NFTs go up. Now, the value, the dollar value of the NFT doesn't go up or down, but the Ethereum amount goes up. So you might look at that and think that the price of the project is increasing, but in reality, the price of Ethereum is decreasing, and that's leveling out the price. So basically, just because the Ethereum price is going up doesn't mean the monetary price you'd get by selling it is going up because the price of Ethereum is going down. So what we're going to quickly do is just do some quick technical analysis on Ethereum, because that is actually what I'm good at. I'm a day trader. So just to quickly give you some inside information on where we think the price is going to go, I like to pull out my Fibonacci retracement tool. And each of these levels often act like support. And as you can see right now, we're touching one of these support levels and it's holding. So as long as this holds, we're probably going to see a nice price increase at least until the next level. So we should see at least a 20% increase from the position we're at right now before we start to see a lot of more resistance and downward momentum. So as of right now in the Ethereum price, I think it's going to stay stable or go up. So we don't have to worry about a big drawdown with Ethereum right now. And why I bring this up is because NFT projects that are maybe months old, you might be seeing the Ethereum price increasing on that, and you might be thinking that it's gonna, go up a lot higher in value. But in reality, it's because the Ethereum value went down, and that's why the Ethereum numbers that you can get for it is going up. So as you can see, the price of Ethereum has gone down 30% in 9 days. So some of the old projects that are creeping up in Ethereum price, that doesn't actually mean they're bullish. It just means that they're trying to stabilize the price because Ethereum is going down so much. So if we see some old projects going up with low volume, then that could be a trap. I wouldn't be interested. Keep that in mind. All right, so moving on, the next one down the list, Killer GF. Here's some quick information. The reveal is the 28th, so that's important to take note. That's in 3 days. So what I like to do is I like to trade up to the artwork reveal and then sell before then. But just because the artwork hasn't been revealed doesn't mean you just automatically buy. We have to look at the volume and see if there's enough buyers to sustain the movement. So let's go ahead and look at the charts right now on it. So here we are. It's only been out for 1 day, so looking at the day bar, which is right here, where each of these bars represent 1 day, we're not going to be able to use it. So the one right above it, each of these bars represent 1 hour. All right, so usually there's a lot of noise going on the hour chart, and I don't like to trade by that. But when there's not enough data on the daily chart, then I take it into consideration. So for example, like I do in the past, what I look for is a nice low period of volume followed by some bigger volume spikes. These volume spikes have to be multiple size of the previous days, or I'm sorry, the previous hours in which it has been. And then what I like to do is once I see that large volume spike, I make sure that the next hour is increasing volume. Because if there's not increasing volume and it goes all the way back down to how it was previously, then I'm not interested. Because that could have potentially been just one person buying a very rare NFT in the project, and that's not what I want to look for. I'm looking for momentum of lots of new buyers stepping in. So on the second bar that went higher, I would have said, okay, good sign, let me buy in right here. The floor price at this moment was 0.97. And just a few hours later, it went all the way up to 1.5. So that's a pretty huge profit within a few hours if you don't follow this strategy. And then now we have another series of decreasing volume, which is what we want to look for. And then we want it to stabilize just like it did over here. And then we want to just wait for the same exact momentum to happen again. And then that will give you the indication to buy in. And when you're looking to sell, you just want to look for the start of the decreasing volume, which would be right around here. We'll have 2 bars, decreasing volume. I would have been selling around there. All right, so next one on the list, Metroverse City Block. So looking now at Metroverse, we could see that there's 1,000 owners and 10,000 items. So that's a 1-to-10 ratio. That's not very good. We don't want to see that because what happens is a large amount of the NFTs are just in a small amount of hands. So when they decide to sell, it could really influence the floor price. It doesn't mean the project's going to do bad, but it's just a red flag that I like to look out for. So looking at the charts for this particular one, the artwork was already revealed, so I didn't look up that data. Looking at the price action alone, we haven't seen a nice consistent low of volume because that's what I want to look for when I enter into a position. Looking at the hourly chart though, there could have been some trades to be made here. So here's one big volume spike. It went down almost to previous lows, which were over here the next hour, so I wouldn't be interested. But once we start to get increased volume right here, I would start to be interested. And then since then, it went from the 1.24 all the way up to one, well, it went a lot higher. It's at 1.9 right now, but I'm just trying to go over how I would exit this position. So on this decrease in volume right here, I would look at the price. I would see that the price is decreasing and it's very low. So I honestly may have sold right here. And if that were to have happened, I would have been buying in at 1.24, sold at 1.35. Very small profit because you really don't know when another big volume spike is going to come in. You don't want to hold and hope. You want to take the data you have and trade based on that data. Now this next hour, seeing this volume spike higher than all the previous ones, that would have been actually another indication to buy in, which would have been at that point, it would have been 1.5, and then the floor, I probably would have sold at 1.62 because the volume started to decrease. So guys, not every trade's going to be home run, but these are, multiple hundreds of dollars worth of trades, and especially if you're trading by the hour, each one of these bars represent 1 hour. So these plays are made all within intraday, all within 1 day. All right, so moving on, the next one, Reptile Armoury. Let's look at the OpenSea really quick. 300 owners, 20,000 items. So those are very bad ratios. I would be very cautious of buying into this one. So let me quickly show you a way that you could see if there's this one big whale holding the project. So go ahead and click on any NFT within the collection. Scroll down to details, click on contract address, click on token tracker, the name right here, then click on holders. And here you could see the quantity that one wallet holds. Here we could see that one wallet holds 19,000, which is 97% of the supply. So when I see things like this, I just avoid the project because this one person holds so much of the project that they could destroy the floor price by selling out. So I would avoid this one, but I still did make a chart in case anyone wants to trade it, or if they did buy in, we could see how the price is doing for you guys. So according to this data here, I mean, it's looking pretty good. We're seeing a large increase in daily volume. That's a good sign. As you can see, these are recent bars in the hourly. They're also very big. Now, one thing I don't like to see is a large volume spike with the floor price decreasing. Because what that tells me is that there's one large seller selling off their inventory, dropping the floor price down. So who knows, that could be that person that has 97% of the supply. So with that being said, this is a project that, at least for me personally, I would not be interested in buying into. So moving on, the next one, it doesn't have a name, but when I click OpenSea, so MekaApes, we have 757 owners with 20,000 items. So this is another one that I do not like that ratio right here. So let's go ahead and look at the contract and see if maybe just a few addresses hold the majority of the tokens or the NFTs. So you click on any NFT in the collection, scroll down, go to details, contract address, token tracker, holders. So this one looks like the percentages aren't registering, but you could see that one wallet holds 18,000 supply. So this is another one that, because of that, I'm gonna avoid, because when that person's ready to sell, they're gonna destroy the floor price. All right, so this next one, HAPE Prime, this is also another highly anticipated NFT. And for this one, the reveal is February 1st. So we have some time to trade it if you are interested in that. But as I always recommend, you want to sell before the reveal. All right, so looking at their OpenSea, their floor price is 7.8, which is extremely expensive. So each one of these are going for $18,000. So when there's this much hype around a project and the artwork actually looks pretty cool, it actually could explode after the artwork reveal. So it's very rare that it happens. Maybe about 25% of the NFTs I follow actually go up after the art reveal, but most at least go down for multiple days after the art reveal. So if you have a high risk tolerance and you're already in the project, hold until the art reveal. If you want to lock in your profits, I would definitely recommend, though, to sell right before the reveal. Oh, I guess I forgot to look at the MekaApes chart real quick. Just looking at this alone, the price is increasing. That's a good sign. But because of the uneven distribution, it makes me a little bit worried. And for that reason, just me personally, I'm going to stay out of it. But you know my strategy: if you see increasing volume, sustained increasing volume, and you want to take a whack at it, here's the charts. I'll be posting them in my Discord channel over here in the live charts area. So you could head over to that channel and copy these charts down so you can keep an eye on these NFT projects yourself. All right, so HAPE Prime, we have volume consistently going down. Not a good sign. So unless you see multiple days of increasing volume, I would be looking to exit this position. Moving on to the next one. We have GrumpyPandaz. So quick information about GrumpyPandaz. The whitelist was the 24th at 4:30. The public mint was also the 24th, but at 5. And there is no news on the art reveal yet. So I kind of don't like that. I like to know when the art reveal is. We're seeing decreasing volume, not a good sign. So this one does not look good at this moment. All right, so moving on to the next one, Meta Gold Diggers Club. Looks like the mint was on 125, so it was today. We have no reveal date. But here's what the artwork looks like, and it kind of looks like a match for HAPE Beast, or HAPE Prime I meant, because this kind of looks similar to it. Alright, so here's how it looks on OpenSea right now, where we have 1,700 owners and 2,600 items, so that's a good distribution. I'm not quite sure why it's not saying 5,000, because the collection has 5,300, but there's only 26 items here, so that's a little bit strange. Let's go ahead and look at the information on the contract, see if there's any large holders. So there's no large holders. That's a good sign. Looks like the person who has the most only has 10, which represents 0.3 of the collection. So if they completely sell out at floor price, it's not really going to affect it that much because they only have 10. So that's why it's important to see the distribution of holders. Looking at the price, not looking good. Consistently lower volume. So we're just gonna keep this on the sidelines and just keep watching the charts. Let's go ahead and move on then. All right, so this next one, we're going to your mom's house. Yeah. So looking at the OpenSea, it's called Nostalgia. Pretty high floor price. Owners to items, that's a very good distribution. It's almost 1-to-1. So looking at it from that point of view, it's a good sign. Looking at the charts now. So looking at this 1 hour chart, we're seeing one big bar here, which is a good sign, but the bar right before it, look at the floor price. It dropped from 1.91 all the way down to 0.76. So that kind of gets me a little worried, even though we're seeing a big, nice volume bar here. And when we're looking at the 1 hour chart, things can get a little bit choppy. So I kind of like to see some confluence between both the 1 hour and the 1 day chart. And I'm just not seeing it right now. So for this particular project, I'm just going to move on and look for something else. All right, so moving on, we have Cool Monkeys. Good distribution, 2-to-1. Floor price is increasing. Let's go ahead and pop this in the chart and see what it looks like. So this one is starting to look good. And ideally, of course, we'd like to see low volume followed by the big volume spikes right here. And that hasn't happened yet because this project is still somewhat new. Looking at the 1 hour though, you could see times where you could make some money when we start to see the volume start picking up. Now, if you're looking for an entry on the 1 hour, what I would do is I would draw an imaginary line from this top here all the way down to here. Just draw a line right here. And what's going to happen is you're going to start to see the volume getting low, and it's going to go low over here. And then once you get another big volume spike, that would be an indication to enter. Decreasing volume signifies that the price is going to go down. And then once that decreasing volume finishes and we start to see the increasing volume, that's when the price goes up. So that's when you're trying to gauge it. So Cool Monkeys definitely should be on your radar. The charts are looking good right now. And there is utility behind it. When you, hold one of these NFT projects, you earn something called CMB, which is a token that you could use within their ecosystem. All right, so next up, Ape MFR. Here we are over here. Distribution of 1-to-3, which isn't bad. I'd like to see, however, a little more volume here. Let's look at the charts. Yeah, as you can see, there's decreasing volume. So at this time, usually when the project is released, we see the most volume. And right now we're seeing decreasing volume. Not a good sign. All right, so checking out this next one, Lil Heroes. 2-to-1 distribution, that's a good sign. A lot of nice volume, good sign. Let's take a look at the charts now. All right, so this must have been the artwork reveal. That's why there's so much volume for this particular day. So now we're seeing decrease in volume. Normal, that usually happens after the art reveal. So now what we want to look for is a period of consistently low volume. And then we want to look for the next big volume spike, which is signifying the next leg up for this project. Now you don't want to buy in now because you're just going to be holding and hoping. We have to see the increasing volume that signifies to us new buyers are stepping into the market. So at this time, it's not looking good, and I would just be keeping an eye on these charts and just sitting on the sidelines. All right, next up, Teddy Bear Squad. I didn't like the looks of this one, so I didn't chart it. The next one after that, CryptoBatz. We have a good distribution. It's almost 1-to-1. So for this one, we have the art reveal over here, which is the highest volume. Like always, we have the decreasing volume and the decreasing floor price. And now we're just waiting to see if we have another leg up with new volume coming in. All right, so that's the end of this video. And if you'd like these charts for yourself, go ahead and just join my Discord. The link will be in the description below. And then you could find these charts in this channel right here called Live Charts. And then also this channel we're looking at right here is called Top Volume. And every single hour, we post NFTs that fall within that certain trading criteria. Then I also have a channel called Minting Alerts. And basically what this does is it alerts me every time a project is being minted rapidly. And this is important because projects that mint rapidly often sell out and then go up in price on the secondary market. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but this is a great resource to help you find those projects that are going to sell out. So that's it for the end of this video, and I will talk to you guys later. All right, see ya.